Alright. With that, we are once again live. Welcome to another stream of Buddha and Zionics playing games poorly. Tonight, we're going to do a bit of Satisfactory. And I hear through the grapevine that Buddha is going to be playing some Dishonored tomorrow.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So, yeah. That ought to be cool.
Well, it's going to be a continuation off the unfulfilled promise on Sonic's end where, okay, fine, I'll go through his shitty little Orson Scott card book 2, which was not that good, but oh no, it's totes amazing. And after that, now I need to, and he still has not watched The Legacy of Kain, but you know, I'm the bigger man, so that's all that matters. So I need to fulfill my promise to Bot to go through Dishonored 2 because apparently it totally makes sense. I'm still skeptical, but man of my word, just like the Joker. Or maybe I should do my more, what people called my more, yeah, I guess that would have been my more evil laugh.
I fully intend to go through the Legacy of Kain stuff. It disappeared off of my chat history and...
Oh, so you're telling me if I give it to you, then, you know... I don't think so.
I'm gonna go with it disappeared off my chat history.
Wow, it just keeps disappearing. I don't know what happened.
No, I intend to go through it. I just haven't had a good time to go through it. I don't break my deals on purpose. It's more accidentally. Yeah,
it's so accidentally amazing that I pulled this off.
Actually, no. The Steam chat history that we've been using for fucking ever got fucking reset.
Nah, that's true. Legacy of Kain, great story. Pretty horrible gameplay, but great story.
Ah, so you stole my iron ore, did you?
You told me to.
Likely story.
Yeah. That's me. That's right, I was gonna go expansive again.
See, I'm not the only one who's a disappointment.
It didn't look like you were online when I looked at my my Discord. But yeah, no, I took a nap, then I went shopping. That was my bad. And then on top of that, I obviously couldn't stream earlier, which was just my apologies. I am sincerely disappointed in that flaw on my end. But I'll start streaming, and my main concept that I'm going for is low chaos. Sorry. Oh, I didn't make another fuck berries. But main goal is gonna be low chaos. I mean, I'm gonna attempt no kills, but the fact that I'm not gonna be save scumming it, I'm gonna be whatever happens. So I'm gonna try to low chaos ghost, no kills. I'll probably just do normal difficulty. I'm still way too rusty with the game. And then, yeah, that's the ultimate plan.
Funerals are more fun.
And yeah, well, I mean, I've cracked jokes at plenty of funerals now, so people apparently don't care for that, which I think is the fault of them more than me.
It's a failure to appreciate the situation.
Guys, I'm a horrible person. So, I had my eldest brother died of leukemia, and whatever mortician that set him up didn't do that good of a job. He kind of looked like a porcelain doll. And my brother was like, I don't know, he kind of smells flowery. It seems weird. I'm like, man, I'm just looking at that Hitler stash that they left on him. So we're doing the whole viewing aspect, and no, me, my brother, and my two sisters are laughing. Yeah, we're probably not good people.
I mean, who buries a guy with a Hitler stash? Come on.
I know, seriously, you just need to hit under the nose, but that was like, we don't want to waste the time. He's good with a Hitler stash.
Oh, no. Swing and a miss on my run.
Fucking hell. Oh, that's right. So this might get me in trouble with Twitch and YouTube. But
It's not a Buddha and Zion extreme unless we're pissing somebody off.
so I had a grandma who passed away recently, and she was pretty damn racist. And for the last chunk of her life, she thought that whatever. She thought that Mexicans were breaking in and stealing her candy. So, so, when we were at her viewing, there was some candy nearby. I was like, you know what I want to do? So I want to take this candy, I want to put it in her hand and let her be buried with it, and now she'll know nobody's stealing her candy. I didn't do it. I pushed out, but I was really close. This is gonna hurt. Yeah, no, we're from Mexicans to a redheaded kid. Not 100% sure why that happened. So, yeah.
Why would you think redheaded kids are stealing her candy?
I have no idea. But that's what she thought. And so I'm just like, okay, Grandma, no.
I mean, redheaded kids don't have souls. There is that.
So they will steal candy, whenever. But actually, the other one that made me laugh, I didn't hear this firsthand, but I heard from my dad. He was talking to, well, it was his mother, so yeah. And she was sitting there talking about how one time she was just, sitting there chilling, and Grandpa came back, so, her husband. When Grandpa came back, apparently the first thing she did was yell at him. And guess what? He never came back.
Did Grandpa steal the candy? Is that what happened?
I don't think Grandpa stole the candy, but you know what? Apparently the world's a crazy place, and I just need to accept it.
Yes. Both of us actually vape. You probably just heard me though.
I don't know if she had dementia. She did have some cognitive issues, obviously, if she's seeing things that aren't there. But whether it was dementia or not, I couldn't say.
Well, I mean, you got to
Come
draw
on,
your
dude.
line somewhere, bot. Like,
You got to move that line further away. I was gonna set up my next coal area where you're setting up that line.
huh?
Not coal, sorry, copper.
You need me to go up?
No, I need you to move that further to the side because I'm gonna be expanding into this area like I did over there, so I can make everything.
I mean, you could always go vertical.
Fine.
Whine, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch.
I'm sorry. Is it easier to move your track or for me to build a fucking Empire State Building?
That's just the starting location we chose.
Yes, this is the hardest difficulty, and Zonix is like, hey man, we're awesome.
I guess Buddha can't complain if I go under this. I mean, Buddha can complain, but I'm just going to ignore him.
I was gonna say, I think you are underestimating my abilities.
Ah, he will. He always does.
Oh, I love how I'm the complainer when somebody's like, you do realize that these floorboards are facing the wrong direction, right?
That's because you should know better.
I mean, I have to admit, I can't say I do it intentionally that often, but you know, it's kind of nice making a psionics cry when it's like, why? Why aren't you lighting these things up properly? It's off by like a pixel. I can see it though.
Buddha over exaggerates how small
Yes.
the pixel is.
How far do I over exaggerate? 2 pixels?
Yeah, it's pretty bad when he decides he doesn't give a fuck. Should have been here last night. He actually successfully did kill me.
Yes, I did. He started it though. Not my fault. Well, as the great philosopher said, don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. God, that's still one of those little things that just pisses me off. Decide what your smelter is gonna do. How about whatever it gets fed, it eats?
If only the smelter could decide what to make based on its input.
But no, that's just me being crazy.
Time for 4 times in a run-through event.
Oh, I done fucked up.
I mean, yeah, but what are you whining about?
I needed to put in another splitter for what I'm doing. So I'm trying to make it to where this pure, I believe it's pure. Yeah. So I'm trying to make it to where this pure copper mine will take our be set up for 3 nodes, as it were. And the place I put down, I forgot to put down a splitter. So I have a main splitter, which is going to feed 3 nodes, kind of like that. But I need another splitter for the specific node.
All right. Prepping the sky elevator.
Psh. I still wonder if they fucked it up. They still don't get rid of it. I can see the little dot that shows the thing that went
Yeah,
up.
I can see it. That's not space.
But yeah, no, I wonder if a space air elevator is actually really possible because wind resistance and shit like that, and the fact that it would technically get weaker the higher up it goes.
Yeah, no, it would most definitely get weaker the higher up it goes. Need to clear some shit out of my inventory. Let's few more stators isn't gonna hurt anyone's feelings. Because this thing is off anyway, so there's that.
Yeah, I accidentally filled that up again, so that was my bad.
But I got a shit ton of, well, I got versatile frames automated now. And I'm pretty sure the other two require oil.
Yes, they do. Motor requires oil. What the hell?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you come to me? Apparently, I'm fucking up some, and I don't know what. Oh, no.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. That could be the reason. Okay, I fixed my stupidity. Everything was working just fine. It was all an illusion of psionics. I don't know why you have such weird issues.
My shit's working.
Like I said, everything's working. I don't know why you have issues.
Don't worry, Chernobyl will come.
Chernobyl already exists. Well, here, I should say.
Yeah, so... Oh, shit, I forgot to select the oil objective.
I was gonna say, do you want me to come back and take care of the research aspect?
Yeah, you're fucking slacking, Buddha. No, I'm almost there. And there's only one we can do anyways. Everything else is gonna be plastics. But yeah. Yep, literally everything else requires plastics. We
So,
should
yeah,
have the
all
steel
processing.
pipe.
And we definitely have the copper sheets, so it's gonna be a motor and well, I'll grab the copper sheets real quick.
Grabbing the steel pipe. Right now we are using coal for power, but we're gonna probably build an oil power plant here relatively quickly. Relatively.
Well, we still need to find oil. That's gonna be the big issue, but yeah, we're pure coal / steam power.
No. Fuck me, that was nowhere near enough pipe.
It's up there for you to see constantly.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fuck the shit out of this planet, bot.
I mean, we're already in the desert. How much can we fuck it up? Oh, that's right. I tore that down.
Huh. You turned off encased steel beams.
No, you did. You got rid of the iron I-beams. I was gonna leave it alone. You're the one who decided that we needed to stock. Well, I mean, we needed to stock up, but I didn't delete the track.
I'll have to fix that. Definitely can't let that shit stand. Bastard. The bot, have you played this game before? Yeah, it's one of those vibe games. It's not super stressful. Till the power goes out.
Mm-hmm. Both literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So motors, rotors, and stators. That's not gonna be fun. I guess it won't be too bad. Find an iron mine and just start. Yeah, because you still need the steel pipe for stators.
Where are you at? Come over
I'm
to my copper area real quick, if you would, please.
But fine.
You're close enough.
Yeah, but I got shit to do, man.
And I'm trying to help you out, actually.
Okay.
So I'm gonna obviously building off in 3 directions for this node. Which area do you want copper wire? Which area do you want cable? And which area do you want copper sheets? Or do you not want copper sheets and you just want 3 different nodes of wire?
Alright, so it looks like I have an unmolested iron node this direction. If you could send wire up here,
Okay,
that would be
so
perfect.
So then the right facing area will be copper wire. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking for.
Alright. Sweden fucking sucks.
Every level of balls. You know, the one thing I did agree with Sweden is, oh no, yeah, is mandatory military service. But beyond that, yeah, Sweden can pound sand or snow or whatever they have in their general locale. Don't really care.
Moist dirt?
I wouldn't call their women that, but you know, that too. No, I care not for Sweden. Especially now that they're like, oh yeah, we totes want to join NATO. Oh, great. Pay your backlog. No, and actually, the one other thing that I know about Sweden is that's where the Pope got his guards from. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it is one that comes to mind where it's like, apparently the Swedes, actually they started off as apparently really badass mercenaries. That's actually where, for Xanax, that's where the Landesknechts came from. I believe they were Swedish mercenaries.
Ah, okay. Alright. Impure. Oh, God. Okay. I'm gonna have to be careful with this. Alright, you're primary. I gotta take a leak.
Okay. I disagree with that completely. I don't think NATO's our chads at all. But to each their own. Especially once you start looking into all the scandals with NATO too. Yeah, so that's building up wires. I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, no, the thing that pisses me off the most about Sweden is their chocolate is average at best. Let's see.
No, by and large, I have no opinion when it comes to them, though. It's just like, okay, Sweden, hooray. And then when it comes to NATO, I just think about a bunch of the scandals that they've been involved with, and it's like, yeah.
NATO's been involved in a bunch of scandals.
Oh yeah, dude, they've been massive sex scandals when it comes to NATO. Same thing with the, what are they, like some whatever humanitarian societies? Pretty much it's like, yeah, no, I'll give you food, you know, just let me bang your 14-year-old daughter.
See who can get the furthest in 1 to 2 hours.
Dianetics.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I might win just because I'm more to the short-term fixes. but Xanax builds earlier for long-term things. So I would be able to do a lot of I'd be able to do a lot of littles where I think Xanax later would pass me up. So I think in 2 hours I might win, but in about 3 to 5 hours, Xanax would completely blow me away.
I mean, I know there is such a thing as competitive satisfactory.
Actually, you know, the one thing that might actually give me a bit of an edge is we were talking about last night is I'm actually the person who does 90% of the research. So I might make better research decisions. Or at least I'll remember the research.
Then 1 month nonstop playing, all expenses paid. Before we see who wins. That would be intense. Yeah, that'd be way cool. Like, if we ever got big enough that we could just stream full time.
No, like I said earlier, I think on that front, Sonics would probably win. I'd do better short term, but after that.
Alright. 60 parts per minute.
Gotta play to your strengths. Hell, right now, one of the things I'm just doing personal solo on is a game called Dyson Sphere. Amazing game, by the by. But yeah, no. Where I'm at now, especially with the time I put in, gives Onyx an equal level of experience. He probably would have left me behind within the first, like I said, 2 hours.
I do tend to get caught up in the minutiae a lot of times, though.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like I would have done steel and then modular frames. That probably would have been an hour later, where you started modular frames earlier, which pissed me off because I needed the steel.
Yeah.
But you were going to be more prepped at that point. So I might have bypassed you to a certain extent, but then modular frames would have been a chunk of time. Of course, to be fair, if we were sort of speed running each other, I don't know if you would have built that vertical. I think that's just because you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll build it out of the way.
Yeah, I do like doing vertical builds for like the sake of like space saving. Because I like the idea of having everything just kind of like compact. Andrew Tate. I don't think I know who that is.
I know who that is. That's red pill shit. I don't know enough about him, but from the little bit I do know, I agree. So, I mean, take that how you will. Yeah, no, I don't know how far I can go.
I mean, it's just us, man. Go right ahead.
So, one of the big things that's been being talked about with the truly hardcore red pill community is the fact that when it comes down to it, most women, if not all women, are looking for high value males. High value males need to be, well, don't need to be, but generally are, you know, tall, assertive. They have a lot of social influence, or a lot of, yeah, they are yeah, social influence, I guess, works. They generally make a fair amount of money, stuff like that. In which case, it's kind of like, the upper 1%, or 1%, 10% of males who, they make enough money, they can, like, literally go pretty much wherever they want and just kind of belong there. In which case, when it comes down to it, women want to be with such a guy to such an extent that it ultimately doesn't matter what the guy does because he's so rare and he's exactly what they want, that when it comes down to it, and this is where this gets into issues, is pretty much, if that guy ends up, going out and sleeping with somebody else, it should be considered acceptable just because you're the one who wants to be with him, and by and large, whether he has sex with somebody else is kind of irrelevant. If he chose to be with you, that's the biggest thing, more than so with somebody like that, monogamy is something that you, well, as a female, you're not going to be able to expect, because I can do this, 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 and this. I want to be with you, but you're kind of unnecessary to my lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's one of the proponents of that perspective. And on top of that, I think he was something like a fairly successful MMA fighter, a bunch of other things. And he's fucking wealthy too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, alpha male, top quality male, however you want to put it.
Well, that's like the 3 6s thing where
Yeah.
women want a man who's 6 feet tall, has at least a 6-inch cock, and makes at least a 6-figure income type of thing.
Yep. And it's actually funny. So I haven't watched him in a while, but yet again, things that'll get us in trouble. Fresh and Fit. It's one of those things where they talk about where it's like, okay, if you take just simply somebody who makes 6 figures a year, you're looking at like what I think it's like the top 10% of males. And if you're looking for somebody who's over 6 feet tall, you're looking at like the top 5% of males. And then when it comes to cock size, that's, I guess, I don't know what the averages are on that particular front. And so if you take all of that, you're literally looking for less than a 1% male. And of those, some of them are married, some of them are gay. Like, there's a bunch of other factors that all of a sudden you have to take into account. But the amount of people who seem to think, oh, no, yeah, so many people are this way. It's like, no, actually. The amount of people that are on that level is fucking rare. But yeah, no, I haven't completely watched him, like I said. Oh, he does. Oh, well, at that point, I don't know. If he does, then I condemn him.
Well, I mean, you look at someone like Jeffrey Epstein or whatever. Like, how many of us who had that level of wealth wouldn't have done what he done? Like, I'm not saying I would or wouldn't. I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm just saying once you reach that level of wealth, like, the rules are fucking different.
Well, the funny part is there's pretty much two ways it seems like people like that go. Is it either they go like hyperly hedonistic, or they go what's the word I'm looking for? They like feel uber guilty about it, so they compensate or overcompensate for it. But like I said, when it comes to Andrew Tate, I know very little about him, so good, bad, ugly, no clue. I've heard some of his philosophies, but don't know X, Y, or Z, honestly. And I'm out of Iron Plate. Hooray!
If only there was some place you could go.
Sadly, no such place. Continue on with the Andrew Tate. Like two of the things that come to mind. One was what did they call him? Oh, he was the dine and dash dater. So what he would do is he would go out on date with women, and when he was done with the meal or came close to time for the check, he would essentially sneak out of the restaurant so it would leave the woman to fit the bill. And this guy got prosecuted, from what I understand, to the fullest extent of the law. It's like, but women do it all the time.
Yeah, rich people, like, it's funny that rich people do. Like, they 100% get held to a different standard. It's like, because you're rich, you're also expected to be moral, and humans aren't moral creatures.
But it's one of those, like, if you achieve a certain level of success or notoriety, apparently somehow you're just perceived as being good. And I've never understood that correlation. That's one of those where it's like, what? Why? This doesn't make sense. But people do. I don't know why they assume somebody who is successful is a good person.
Which is funny because in the general sense, I would assume someone who's successful
Is a
is a
bad
bad
person.
person.
Yeah.
Like, for me, success is one of those things that, no, it shouldn't turn you into a monster, but it turns so many people into monsters. Like, why are we surprised when this happens?
Like, if you want to go a little more mainstream modern, what's that guy's name? Ezra Miller? He's the guy who plays the Flash in the DC movie, so Xanax wouldn't know. But yeah, no, that guy's I mean, apparently he's been a groomer for a couple of years now.
I'm not sure what you mean by a groomer.
He's had I think one of those sources I said he has 15-year-olds that are no 14-year-olds that he's had control over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I mean legitimate what the definition is. But yeah, I don't know the facts. It's well, it hasn't been prosecuted, so it's all hearsay and whatnot now. But yeah, no, not a good dude. Well, allegedly not a good dude.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm at the point now where I figure famous people are just in different levels of, have they been caught yet?
Yeah. Like the only
Like,
person I could think, well, actually, I guess there's two people I could think that are claimed exceptions thus far. One is Keanu Reeves. Apparently, that guy's a legit good dude. And then the other one is the guy who played PETA or something like that in the Hunger Games movies.
yeah.
Those are the only two that I've heard about that it's like, actually, no, those are like some of the legit nicest people you'll ever meet in Hollywood.
Woody Iron Rod.
But it's one of those things, like, I've never understood being starstruck, like, ever. I think I might geek out if I met Gabriel Iglesias. He's one of the few people I think I might go a little, I can't believe I'm meeting you. But outside of that, yeah, no, I couldn't care less. Who?
Dirty to Screws. Alright, so I can do... Yeah, okay.
Okay, so second node of copper is solid. So we now have two massive areas making wire, sheets, and cable. Same with my concrete. We should have two massive areas making concrete. Double check that real quick.
Okay. fuck, I'm at a plate.
Not just me.
This is a real problem we need to deal with. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like you want to aim for comfortable, not rich.
Well, and that's actually, from what I understand, been the biggest killer for those people. Is all of a sudden they change how they live their lives. And so that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I could, like, if I ever became psychotically rich out of nowhere, one of the things I would totally do is I would spend like a month living in like a presidential suite in a 5-star hotel type thing. That's something I would do at least once. But that would be a standoff. This is not my normal life. This is just, I want to experience this, and this is what I want to do. But beyond that, but then again, thankfully, whether it shows or not, I'm really not that materialistic. So when it comes down to it, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to buy a new car. Well, I might buy a new car, but it's not going to be anything extreme, like, unlike Psionics. Most
Oh yeah.
expensive
If
thing
I
I would
became
buy.
a stupid risk, I would totally end up with a Lambo or a Ferrari or.
The biggest thing I would buy, expense wise, would honestly be like pretty much a supercomputer. I'd want to get a kick-ass computer. Outside of that, I couldn't really care less. I mean, I might eat more steaks than I would have before, but I'm still gonna be perfectly cool eating mac and cheese.
I mean, you can have fancy mac and cheese.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm totally fine with the simple life.
But you know, it's one of those things like you never really know
What you
how
do
you will
until,
change. Yeah.
yeah. Until you're in that moment, I could sit here and talk. Oh, I donate everything to charity. I wouldn't, but you know, I could say it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's just one of those areas where it's like, what would you do? You can't know.
Well, and that's the thing is like being rich and being famous are like they aren't mutually exclusive, but they are two very different things.
Well,
You
the
can
thing,
be rich and unknown.
yeah. No, and that's one of those things that people don't or really think about. Now, I don't know exactly what perspective you're looking at. I'm more thinking like, let's say you won the lottery type thing more than you became famous.
Yeah.
Problem is all of a sudden you're gonna have a bunch of people who are, oh, remember how we used to hang out, 10 years ago? And then you're gonna have family members you maybe never had real contact with are reaching out to you. Like, there's a lot of littles, and so that's one of those almost like dare, just say no type things. What are you gonna define early on? Are you really gonna care about second cousins you've never talked about who say they need help? And, well, yeah, I wouldn't, but I'm a bad person.
And yeah, that's 100% legitimate. That a lot of the richest people pay money to make sure they stay anonymous,
Mm.
and that 100% makes sense.
Yeah, and what Bob was saying more in a general sense, it's you have to remember, just don't lose who you are ultimately. You lose who you are, then you're
Dang.
already doomed regardless of what's happening.
Yeah. Mark 2 for that.
One of the stories I remember too was like some guy won the lottery and all of a sudden some of his kids overdosed and shit like that. And yeah, no, money can fuck people's lives up. And actually, there's this one guy who got in trouble. Yeah, screw it. Ben Shapiro. He was talking. I want to say it was a high school, and he was like, the problem with poor people is they live poor lives. It's not that they are poor. It's just that they make decisions as if they are poor, regardless of their situation. And he
Yeah.
straight up got kicked out as soon as he said that. And it's like, but it's accurate. If you
Yeah.
keep living like you're poor, even when you're rich, you're gonna make a bunch of bad decisions because most poor people want to make
bad decisions.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you ever watched the movie Brewster's Millions, that's like it's a comedy, but that
Is
movie
that
is
an Eddie
100%.
Murphy movie?
Yeah,
I
Brewster's
never watched.
Millions.
Yeah, I've only watched part of it. No, it wasn't him. It was that other comedian, Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he makes like some guys like, I'll give you $1 million or like $10 million now. And if you spend all of it within like a month, you can get, $100 million or something like that. So he's literally like just trying to burn through his money as quickly as possible to be able to
Well,
get
and he
that.
has to do it without accumulating assets.
Mm.
Like that's the crux is he has to do it without accumulating assets. So like there's a like he can either get something like $10 million free and clear, he can do with it whatever the hell he wants. Or if he can do the challenge, which is he has to spend $100 million in a month without accumulating assets, then he can get like the full fortune, which is like, $1 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, the only reason I know about that, because like I said, I only saw a small part of it. And this guy's like, I'm going to hire you to be my personal photographer. You'll get like $40,000 a month. And I'm like, why the ever living hell would you do that? And my dad he explained the story to me. I was like, oh, okay. This is stupid, but okay.
dude went bankrupt, ended up homeless, and he built a bunker in the backyard of his old home. Told nobody about it, and he's been living there for... How would you come and go, though? Like I feel like you'd be hard-pressed to keep your comings and goings secret, unless it was a big property. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, isn't true. It's just... I'm just curious about the logistics of it, Yeah, that's true.
Actually, one story I find fascinating. There was this guy who decided to disconnect himself from reality, and he ended up living in the woods of Maine, I want to say. And he lived there for some like 20 years without contact. Like, apparently there was this one time he ran into a hiker and he said hello, and that was his one verbal conversation in 20 years. And yeah, no, he lived there completely off the grid. He stole food and shit like that. But I mean, for those who are dedicated, it's fucking possible. It's just fucking extreme too. Yeah, the world's a crazy place.
It's a nutty, nutty world. We're just nuts.
Just nuts about nuts. Crunch them with your lunch. Buy them in a bunch. Wow, I'm surprised I remember that much. I have watched the show more than I probably should have.
We are talking about a show called Daria.
Great show. until they decided tainted by saying, "Oh, it's the first feminist or animated show." It's not feminist. I mean, you could argue it is, but pound sand.
Don't ruin my beloved show with your taint. But it's one of those, ideas that you can have a show with compelling, interesting characters that, isn't preachy.
Well, at least the preachiness is very mild, I would say. But yeah, no, it's a great show. I highly recommend.
I wouldn't even say it's preachy.
Well, I just think back to that first episode where she has to explain what a manifest destiny is, and it's like, it's the belief that America should expand all the way to the West Coast. This opinion did not include include a lot of Mexicans.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little preachy.
It's not inaccurate.
Actually, fun note, Mexicans are technically considered white under the penal code.
Well, yeah, it's because of what happened at the Alamo.
Mm-hmm. Well, not the Alamo, but it's when Santa Anna was trying to invade and conquer Texas. There was a lot of Mexican farmers that were living in Texas, and they decided to join the Texans to defend the territory. And yeah, after that, the
federal government granted them white status.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's why there's that weird thing, and I guess you wouldn't know this, Bud, but on certain forums, it's like Hispanic, non-white Hispanic. I mean, I'm still a little curious how the hell they would track that, honestly. Like, yeah, no, my ancestors were there with the Alamo. Like, I have no idea. That is totally outside my wheelhouse. But at the same time, just a fascinating little tidbit.
Yeah, no, that's 100% understandable. You wouldn't know American history. It's just one of those funny foibles that, like, because there was a group of Mexicans that helped the American military with the American-Mexican War, that the American government granted them the status of white person. And that status is hereditary. So these families that descend from these Mexican Americans that lived, years and years and years ago in the States are considered white because of what their ancestors did. Like, they're legally classified as white people. It's just one of those really
it's
funny.
Just a weird thing. So.
Yeah. The Mexican American War was like 1840s.
30s.
Yeah, it was before the American Civil War, which is in the 1860s. So it was like the 1840s, I think, was the Mexican American War.
Honestly, outside of Davy Crockett, who I think was a real person, the biggest name, that's the biggest American name at least. The biggest name that's really connected with it was Santa Anna, and he was the general for the Mexican army.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, and we don't expect you to know. We're just trying to be.
Yeah, no, it's just
informative as best as we can. Yeah.
We like to be accurate with what we're saying.
But yeah, it's one of those things that is it's a fascinating piece of Americana history. Which,
Don't worry, you won't be tested by the end of the stream.
There's no test tonight.
No, and I'm one of those people who I like my dad, I guess. I enjoy history. I'm horrible with dates, but I remember generalities. Like I said, there's an entire group of Hispanics in America who legally are considered white, and it's just like, that seems weird.
Well, and the fact that, like they like it's gonna be important to be considered white. You know, it's like we're gonna put this out there right now. You're gonna want to be white in the future. So, well,
I wouldn't get behind that completely, but sure.
no, it's obviously not what you know.
Oh, it's for the time. It was for the time.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought you
yeah.
were talking about now. It's like, sure.
Alright, so here we have my stators, and I have my rotors.
I think I put 100 stators or 100 plus stators in the hab.
Yeah, no, I'm automating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I figure motors are one of those things that
I'm not religious.
gonna want to have.
Sorry.
Oh
bot.
no, yeah, no, neither one of us are religious.
I'm. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I guess we have time, but I have my own religious perspective, I guess. But by and large, I would say simplified. I'm agnostic with some pagan leanings, I guess. But yeah, I'm fairly just irreligious is probably the most simple term for what I am.
Yeah.
How about a bot? You're gonna try to convert us to something? But I do enjoy talking about religion. It's a fascinating little
Yeah,
aspect
no,
of
religion
life.
is a fun thing to discuss. It's just that
People can't keep their emotions out of it.
yeah, that's the only. Yeah. And it's when you start taking shit personal, and it's like we're just it's not like we're trying to be offensive. It's just we approach things. Yeah, we are offensive. It is 100%.
It's just a state. It's like, I mean, if you are religious, sweet. If you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it freely. But we're not gonna be. What's the word I want to look for? I'm looking for. We're not gonna cater.
Yeah.
Hey man, here's my perspective. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, but if you want to bring it up, I'll talk about things that I find interesting. And some of the things I find interesting about religion is some of its issues. So.
Yeah. Religion. I wouldn't say it's a relic of the past. I would just say it's evolving.
See, actually, I agree with a certain group where it's like religion was that one like outside factor that helped lead to greater unification, and the fact that people are no longer religious is leading to greater ideology distinctions, and because it's greater ideology distinctions, it's actually leading to more conflict. So while I have an issue with religion, and I agreed with you years ago where it should just be abolished, it's the fact that it transcends and is unifying. Don't get me wrong, don't kill the heathens type aspect, but I don't know. I've started to appreciate religion more, even though I am not.
Well, and I think there's an argument to be made about what qualifies as religious belief and religious doctrine. Like, I think the traditional sense of an organized religion, like Catholicism, Islam, Judaism, stuff like that. I don't think that is
Abrahamics.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily applicable in the modern age, because you look at things like conservative ideology, liberal ideology, like these things very much are religion. Like, they're religion without the tax-free benefit. Like, it's
non-theistic religions is how I've heard it put.
Yeah, where you have this set of beliefs that assault rifles are bad, abortions are good, drugs are good, criminals shouldn't be punished, and they're not based in logical arguments. They're based in
Emotional and
emotional,
tribal.
yeah, and it's like, I feel this way, I believe this way, and I think this way, regardless of logic or reason, which is
Bad.
basically religious
Well,
belief.
yeah, it's the same thing. So instead of, Islam versus the Jews or Christians versus Islam or whatever, it's
Yeah,
literally a new group of
liberals
people.
versus
Yeah.
conservatives. It's
And they have are pretty much the same distinct line. So even if you abolish religion, there is a nook in the human mind thus far that wants that to be filled. It's actually one of those.
it's like a
Uh,
desire to believe in something greater than yourself. Like,
yeah. Well,
even if
it's
you dismiss
what
the
is it?
idea of an
There's
almighty God, you still want to believe, like, I am progressing the liberal religion
well,
or the
it's sort of like
conservative
also
religion.
you have the whole thing. Like how do you trust somebody to? Oh, I'll just trust the leaders. No, that's part of the thing that even fucking what's his name? The Mark Luther or something.
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther. I knew it started with an M. Martin Luther. It's just you can't or just sit there and say I'll trust the priest. You have to do it on your own. And I think that's still the problem is people aren't. If you're gonna give up things like religion and whatnot, you have to become individualistic. If you don't become individualistic, you're literally changing one drug for another drug. You're still gonna be in a bad situation. It's just that your tribe, your clan, your whatever is now gonna be smaller, and you're probably gonna be a more oh, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a different word besides extremist, but it's kind of the same thing.
Fundamentalist.
Yeah, you're gonna be more or just as fundamentalist about it. It's just gonna be a smaller group. So, and on top of that, with everybody nowadays wanting to feel like they're a unique, snowflake,
Yeah,
it's just like,
snowflakes. Yeah.
it's like, this is not gonna work out well in any way, shape, or form.
All right, I'm waiting on rotors to build. I have them automated. They're going into a box, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to go empty my bladder. I'll be right back. Your primary.
And the gerbil is still in effect. Yeah, and that's one of those things where I wonder if there is such a thing as, good living. I mean, obviously, eat healthy, exercise, blah, blah, blah. But beyond that, it's just like, I don't know. What is a good life? And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to a certain extent, is people want to abdicate a certain level of personal responsibility. And that's where things like religion fit. And if religion isn't filling it, then there's going to be some other group that's going to be like, oh, here's how you live a good life. And like Xanax filled in for me, you're just going to become a different type of fundamentalist. No problem. Ask any question you want. I mean, we're not going to say we're right. We're not going to say we're wrong, but it's our perspectives. So, yeah, no. Any questions you have, ask.
Yeah, having free and open conversations is alarmingly rare on the internet.
And it's one of the most important aspect or things to have.
Yeah. Like being able to just sit there and like, I believe A. Like, I could say,
Well,
you know,
actually, that's how me and Onyx became friends. Is we can
yeah,
talk about just about anything, and even though we can be polar opposites, it's not taking it personal. This is my opinion. We've actually literally had like two flat out arguments. One was about a stupid movie, doesn't matter, and the other one was about there has to be such a thing as public schools because private schools wouldn't accept everyone. Those were like the two most cutthroat arguments we've had. But yeah, no,
so
have an opinion. It's not right. It's not wrong. It is.
So when you talk about abortion laws, are you talking about something specific or
Are you
the
talking about Roe
American
v. Wade, or are
Roe
you
v.
talking
Wade?
about
Yeah.
the whole, oh, women should be able to abort all the way up until birth type thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a specific law or just repealing Roe v. Wade.
Well, and that's where I was trying to figure out. I wasn't sure if he was talking about the repeal or like some of the more
Okay.
extreme ones.
So the big one that happened in the U.S. recently that you probably saw was was the repeal of Roe v. Wade.
Which gave
So
the power back to the states, which I agree with.
so basically, just to give you a bit of background on it, but is in the 70s, there was a gal who she got pregnant. She wanted to get an abortion. The state she lived in denied her. Uh, they had laws against having an abortion. She filed suit. Like she went to another state, got an abortion, but she still filed suit, and it went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that, and it wasn't just saying that abortions are okay or that abortions aren't okay. What they ruled was that up to 3 months, um, abortions are protected as freedom of privacy, and um, in the cases of rape and incest, abortions are protected through full term of the pregnancy, and in life of the mother, it was full term. So like, if it was like 8 months or whatever, and the mother's life was in danger, then she can have an abortion. And it, the morals of that aside, it was the problem with it was the Supreme Court was specifying a law. The Supreme Court was the role of the Supreme Court is supposed to specify whether a law is constitutional or unconstitutional.
I was going to say, correction. The Supreme Court is meant to interpret the law, not make law. And that's the
Yeah,
big
yeah,
problem with Roe v. Wade, is it made law instead of interpreting law.
yeah. So while I, well, in principle, honestly, I think the rules set forth by Roe v. Wade were fine. Like, I didn't have a problem with the rules themselves. The problem I had was it was the Supreme Court was making law instead of interpreting law. Like, it's not the Supreme Court's job to interpret law. It's not, or to make law. The Supreme Court shouldn't come out and say, um,
This is the law of the land,
this is
per
the law
se.
of the
It's the
land.
interpretation. This is what happened, and this is what the law says based on the Constitution.
Yeah, like the gal Roe, her real name came out later. I
No,
forget what
it
it
was
is.
a pseudonym. I don't remember her real name. And actually, part of the pushing of Roe v. Wade is she made a false accusation about what happened, which is also another thing that led to issues. Is she claimed something bad happened to her, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, see, this is why. And years later, she's like, okay, bad thing didn't happen. I just didn't want to have the child. And the fact
But
that she became like a born again Christian is, a bit of a,
nah, that's ignored.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fun fact is later in her life, the gal who originally
Regretted it
sued
all.
and yeah, and she actually became a pro-life advocate and actually fought to repeal Roe v. Wade within her own lifetime. That's just kind of an interesting historical nuance. But so the people okay, to answer your question about the people who make laws, um, are so we have the Congress and the Senate. Um, the Congress is based on population, and the Senate is two
You
senators
don't
per state.
you don't exactly have to go that far. So the way it works in American government, unless you listen to AOC, is you have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial. Laws are made by the legislative branch, which is the Congress and the Senate. They're the ones who make the law. Congress is meant to interpret, well, not Congress, the judicial is meant to interpret the law, and the executive essentially is meant to protect the law. And
Enforce.
that's where enforce. protect and enforce. But
Yeah.
that's ultimately how it's supposed to work out. The problem is judicial, depending on your perspective, they love it when the justices, or make law in their favor. And I'm of the perspective where it's like, no, I don't care if they make a law that I agree with or disagree with. They should not be doing that. And it's the same thing with the presidency and the executive. What are they called again? Executive decrees or whatever.
Executive orders.
Orders, yeah. That needs to be abolished because a president should not be able to sit there and be like, here's a law, and fuck the legislative branch, which is the Congress and the Senate. And that's one of those things that piss me off. I don't care if I agree with it or disagree with it. I don't want that happening, period. But that's a purist aspect that I apparently am at a very small group of people with.
But yeah, so it's for me and Buddha, it wasn't a matter of so they can't make laws, they can interpret and protect. Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, so you have the Constitution of the United States, which is nationwide.
It's
but
supposed to be
each
the law
state
of the
also-
land.
Yeah. So the laws come from the Senate and the Congress. They're two pieces of the legislative branch. They're the ones that are supposed to pass the laws, and a law is supposed to pass both the Senate and the Congress before it becomes the law of the land. And like I was trying to say before, was the Congress, each state has representatives based on population, and the Senate, each state has equal representation. So like even the little bullshit states like Rhode Island have 2 senators to California's 2 senators. Like, so you can't just push a law through because you have a lot of people in your state. You have to you have to get the majority of the population, which you get in the Congress, plus the majority of the states, which you get in the Senate. And if both houses pass a law, then it goes to the president to be signed, because the president is the executive branch actually enforces the law. The president is in charge of the police force,
Sorry.
the military.
One of the things that I find beautiful about our system too is the fact that, okay, let's pretend the legislative branch of the Congress and the Senate pass a law, but the president says, pound sand, I'm not signing that. If they get enough Congress and Senate to agree with it, they can tell the president to go fuck himself, in which case the law will be passed anyways. So it's one of the it's part of the big checks and balances, which is equal with up there with the whole argument for freedom aspect, are the two biggest. This is what makes up America. The president can only prevent something if there's not enough unification behind it. And if there's enough unification behind it, the president can't stop shit.
Yeah, so the whole idea though is that you can, like, the Congress and the Senate are the ones that are supposed to pass the laws, and there is a push to codify, is what it's called, Roe v. Wade, which is what the Supreme Court said was law. But the thing is there's enough conservative states in the United States that it will never get past the Senate. And
and actually, sorry, one thing for you, Bot, when it comes to the way the states are supposed to work, and if I remember right, this was pretty much said back during the founding, is we're gonna have different states, and each state is gonna be like a mini experiment. In which case, you know what? If there's one state who's like, hey, guess what? Abortion all the way up until birth, fine. And then there's gonna be another state, no abortions whatsoever. Then there's gonna be another state saying no alphabet LGBT people. And then there's gonna be another state saying LGBT for everyone type thing, you know. And that's how it's supposed to work. So, and I agree with it. You know what? If there's a state who says abortions for everyone, but no LGBT people, that's their decision. If there's another state that says no abortions, but all the LGBTs are welcome, fine. Or if they're 100% one way or 100% the other way, I'm fine with all this. I don't have to agree with it. I'm just saying that each state should have a chance to decide, which is ultimately what the overturning of Roe v. Wade turned into is, hey, you know what? You want to have abortions all the way up until birth? Fine. You want to have abortion all the way up until 6 weeks? Fine. You want to have no abortions? Fine. So, yeah.
So our nearest oil is
A mile
almost
away.
2 clicks away. Yeah. At
It's like the only one that has it close is the fucking beach one.
this is gonna be horrible.
I've done it before. Ah, there it is.
Yeah, it is way the fuck out there.
It's not that far out there. I've gone all the way up to the river because that's where the nearest plant lab was, so. No, the problem is going to probably be the elevation. It's probably high up or low down.
No, the whole thing is yeah, we're
Make my
what,
make my image main screen real quick. Ah, fuck bears. So the oil is about here. I've gone that far already. It's not that big of an issue. So that's not gonna be too bad. It's gonna come down to the elevation. Is it on top of the mount or top of a mountain? Is it in a valley somewhere? In which case that would both be a pain in the ass, but yeah.
no,
See?
what we should do is we should go hunting. Okay. We should go hunting those modules and try and get alt recipes is what we should do.
Well, there's one area I found, but I'm not sure how to unlock it. So yeah, we got 2, and I've gotten close to both of them already, so I don't think oil's gonna be too bad. They are removed, but they're not that bad.
Okay.
But in a sense, Bot, it's kind of like what I would assume you have the parliamentary system, except ours is broken into 2, and they're the ones who make the law. And then when it comes down to it, it's the judges who are meant to interpret the law. But the problem is, with every state or every country thus far, is they start adding their own political bias. So regardless of what the law is, they're like, oh, yeah, the law says this, but I agree with this, so pound sand.
Yeah, it's politicizing law or the court, which is something that's not supposed to happen, but
Hey, Bot, that's an American pastime. Don't judge us.
God, I wish Bush would have just taken Iraq the fuck over.
Well, we should have taken the oil, but we didn't.
No,
Oh, I guess we're not supposed to say that either.
we're not supposed to mention this. Alright, so I want to have enough for 3 refineries, so I need another 14 motors. But yeah, we can let's see. Map. Because I want to try and get us some alternate recipes.
Yeah. Like I said, I found one, but I'm still not sure how to unlock it. Are you close to the hab?
I'm at the motors, which is by steel production.
I guess if you look at my screen soon, I'll run there real quick.
Alright, hang on.
Nope, the only faux empire in history that apparently takes over places and takes nothing away.
Let's go hostile invasion because country ain't cooperating with you. I mean, to be fair,
That'd be more Iran and North Korea, but North Korea doesn't, or is no one cares about North Korea.
And
Iran though.
I think the CIA, which is a American government agency, put Saddam Hussein in power. Like the
Well, we also
CIA
put
has.
the Saudis in power too. Okay, look at my screen real quick.
Yeah.
So I got this thing, but I don't know how to open it. I think I need a hard drive or something to plug in, because it's not saying it needs power or anything like that. It's just.
Can you put anything in there?
Yeah, I just lost modular frames.
Can you open it?
Nope. Just got my modular frames back.
Oh, there's probably a bug with All right, hang on. So you are there. Let me
Come on, where are you, spitter? I hear you.
that one has no requirements.
But it's not opening.
Didn't
Click
you
on
get
the
a hard
work.
drive?
I think I researched it already.
Well, yeah, if you already got the hard drive, then you already opened it.
Oh, okay, so it's just being dumb. Alright, ignore me.
No, I got it open, bot, but thank you. This is one of those times I wish I had 3 screens. But yeah, no, the lake to the northeast has one on the north side, and but you need power for that one.
Well, power's not gonna be an issue.
Well, yeah, you can just pick up uh the the fucking power, the biofuel burners and take one with you or two.
Guess that would be simpler, actually.
Yeah, rather than running a fucking power line. Um,
Okay, look at my map real quick.
uh-huh.
So you're talking about like there?
No, let me. It's more. Look at mine. Up there.
Make yourself primary? Oh, I think I see it. Okay. So, there-ish. Got it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, there should be one there. I should probably go ahead and.
There. There we go.
Find it?
Well, no, look at my map again. I put a marker, so you're talking about there, right?
Sorry, I'm doing a lot of shifting back and forth because I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yes, that looks about correct. It's in the middle of the lake, but yeah, I believe that is.
Okay.
Right.
Check my inventory real quick. Bio.
Come on.
Oh, that's lame.
Hmm.
So while I put a marker on the game, it doesn't show up on the mini map.
Mm. Let's head towards that oil. Looks like I got another one over there. Well, no, let me. Oh, fuck. That takes 35 motors to open? Good God. Guess
Yeah,
I'll go back and grab more motors.
I was gonna say those fuckers get expensive at times.
Yeah, they
You, s-
do.
you said it's in the middle of the lake or underwater?
Well, no, it's at the north end of the lake. Welcome back, bot. I didn't realize you left, but welcome back.
I was gonna say all the conversations we had that you were looking for.
Yeah, seriously. All that talk about that bot guy, now we have to shut up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That one is 10x rotor. I believe I have, yeah, plenty of rotors.
Oh, shit. No, those are... Oh, there it is. Looks like it's pretty close to a bunch of poison nodes.
Well, I mean, how brave are you feeling, man?
I got a gun.
Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with poison nodes, but sure, why the fuck not?
I can shoot them from a distance. It's not a... It's one of those that if you get close, they release poison.
Hmm, okay.
Power...
So,
Biomass
should be...
burner. Biomass burner.
Wait, what?
Hmm? What?
Our power grid shut down.
No. It's my side thing.
Oh, my God, you fucking gave me a heart attack. Like, no fucking way our fucking power grid shut down.
The
We should have
2
power
makes
for fucking
60.
days.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab some power shards and supercharge. Because I think I'm making 60, but it requires 70, so...
It should be... It should be about right there. Bust out my gun.
No, I remember that was one of those things I said earlier, too. Not on this stream particularly, but it's like... Yeah, no, if you got a question or idea or perspective, post it. We're not going to be the most intelligent people that are going to talk about it, but we'll talk about it freely.
Balls, come on, come on. Channel your inner Billy Goat Zionics.
I'm just glad that Zonix know what the button or the jump button is in this game.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
It's accurate.
Antarctica? What do you want in Antarctica?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than willing to hear your perspective on that, but I'm not sure why. I mean, it's additional land mass, but it's a miserable place to be, as far as I know.
Alright. Heat sink, encased, screws.
Yes. Well, if we get more or more quartz, you can get legs.
I got us another.
Another. I like another's.
Oh, sorry. I bot chatted and I was looking at his message. Yeah, no, I'm actually really glad we're trying to do space again.
Well, personally, actually, if you think about it, we should also try to colonize the oceans, because we're what, like 80% ocean? I forget.
Like 75%. Yeah, you know, send a bunch of people we don't like to Antarctica. We did that with Australia.
The we didn't do it. The British did it. No, the problem is you really can't. Well, you could, but it would be hard to make Antarctica more or self-sustaining. Or at least I assume that's the biggest issue, is the self-sustaining aspect, on top of the fact that it's probably one of the most dangerous land masses to be on.
Yeah. And stupid British. I don't know. For being colonized by a bunch of criminals, I think Australia turned out pretty okay.
You haven't been paying attention what they did post-COVID. But same thing could be applied to New Zealand. Oh, speaking of which, bot. So a bit of shame to throw on us. It's kind of important. Apparently that's where they shot that one movie with hobbits.
Well, I mean, that's just what white people do, bot. We move in, we kill, we go, hey, we were here the entire time. Ruh-roh. I may have just crashed. Huh. That is a background. I can't hear you, Buddha. You're muted. Uh, hmm. That's unfortunate.
How about now?
There you are.
So I just had disconnect and reconnect.
Can you hear us both now, bot?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Fuck, I don't know if he's being serious or not.
No, he doesn't speak English. Makes him inferior.
Well, I am seeing you coming through on OBS, so I'm pretty sure.
I'm back at that fucking hab.
Oh, you didn't lose that long. Let's just talk about Australia again.
Australia Day.
Yeah,
Can't
don't finish
say.
that. Okay, bot can't hear you. Or who can't you hear, bot?
I'm cool with being the silent partner.
It's
I mean, at this point, I'd have to restart my computer.
yeah. So the annoying one is not specific enough.
Well, I guess actually I have a solution for this.
Yeah, you're not streaming, Buddha.
Well, at this point, we're gonna have to quit because you have to think it's. I believe it's your. Yeah, it had to have been your stream because you went blank, and I'm now. I should be sharing my stream again, so I don't know if you're recapturing it. Nope, my.
Hang on, hang on, hang on. Alright, I think we're back. I see your stream now. You're coming through on OBS. Pretty sure bot can actually hear you.
I don't know why he wants to ignore such an intellect as mine, but that's what ignorant people tend to do.
No, I think we're back up and running. I think we're good. Yeah, I would, bot.
I believe everybody's lying, but yeah, you too. I mean, you're part of everybody. I mean, I grant you that at least.
So, you about ready for people there, Buddha?
Yes. Give me a minute though. Okay, so
Nah. Eh, we've been chatting long enough. Alright, so... Industrial manufacturing. Ooh, I mean, I guess we need to do industrial manufacturing so we can start working on modular engine and adaptive control units. But,
oh yeah, we got a bunch of stuff we need to do.
um,
I mean, if you're honored with a participation award, congrats. That's my biggest problem. I get too aggressive with my humor. Well,
yeah,
maybe
pretty
that's
much,
not the
bot.
biggest problem, but yeah.
Oh shit, where do I go to...
Well, that's what it's the whole moral of the boy who cried wolf, man. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was trying to remember where I need to go to scan a hard drive, but I figured it out.
Ma'am! God, I love having these legs.
You didn't make me legs?
I didn't have enough. And since I was the one who made it, I get the first.
What the fuck do I need for legs?
More quartz.
Okay.
I told you last time, man. You find quartz, you collect it.
Ow. Okay.
But yeah, you need quartz and turn it into silica. And I'm not seeing the silica right now, but I think we need like 20 silica. Oh, I have it.
dickhole.
Yeah, we need 20, and we have 15 right now. I think it's 1 quartz. How many quartz makes silica? Three quartz make 5 silica. So if you can get yourself 3 quartz, you can make yourself some sweet ass legs like man.
I'm gonna head north then. There's not only a hard drive up there, but also quartz.
Oh, you're researching.
Yep.
Okay, storing my hard drive in the hab. No, that's one of those big things that I've never, or that I've always been, never understood is why wouldn't you want to have the whole free flow of ideas? Talk about anything. You're not right, you're not wrong, you just are. Not this whole my truth bullshit. It's just, hey, I think this. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Absolutely, but there are lots of days that are like that.
Dude, I'm like the embodiment of apathy. So, every day?
Puda calls that Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some Fridays, and Saturdays. Sundays are up in the air. I blame my religious upbringing for that one.
Yeah, no, Twitter is a crime against humanity.
Honestly, I think it shows that humanity is a crime, but yeah, that too.
I agree with that sentiment 100%, but like when Twitter became a thing, I damn near had a fucking aneurysm.
For me, I don't know. I put it in the level of very fascinating. Like, pretty much everybody who participates on Twitter, TikTok, uh, any other social media, Facebook, uh, yeah, they have issues. Lots and lots of issues. Oh
Well, and
wow,
they
we
have
filled this
this
damn thing up.
misconception that
Their
Twitter
perspective
is real
matters.
life. Yeah, like just because something exists or is a certain like look at all these Twitter followers who believe this thing. Yeah, but most Twitter followers are fucking morons.
And then you can blame the news because they were one of the earlier ones who are like, "Oh, let's look what our Twitter followers say." Who fucking cares what your Twitter followers say?
Your Twitter followers are a word I can't say on Twitch.
But totally acceptable in New Zealand and Australia. No, that's just one of those garbo. But I like it because it just showed how all negative things I want to say about humanity. So it kind of actually seems like the game might have spazzed out after I equipped my Blade Runners. Because after I did the game was reloaded, all of a sudden my jumping capabilities and whatnot increased.
Oh, okay. What can I I dump from my inventory? I don't need a IGN. I mean,
Ew, dude. Oh, good. He said fuck first.
yeah, IGN is pretty bad.
Garbage. Not that. It's one of those old medias that's gonna die. It just. Yeah, no. There's gonna be a restructure. Well, and this is conspiracy theory to an extent, but there's gonna be some restructuring happening in the next 5 to 10 years that hopefully it's good. I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be, but well, that's not good.
Hmm.
Power just went down apparently.
No, I was mucking
Oh,
around with a thing, yeah. Yeah, IGN sucks.
yep. Nope. That is one of those groups where that they've lost everything. I used to trust them for certain reviews, but yeah, no. By and large, I haven't. No, actually, when it comes to reviews, if I trust anybody, it's probably going to be zero punctuation.
Yeah.
Don't know how trustworthy he is nowadays. I mean, he was from Australia.
You can't trust those people. Alright, I gotta take a leak. You good for me to make refills?
Soon. Take a leak first.
You better hurry, man. You're primary. Alright, back.
Well, you take like 5 minutes to piss anyways. And honestly, I don't respect him anymore because he's no longer zero punctuation. He's just talking. Come on, guy. Part of the reason why I enjoyed you is like, wow, can I keep up with this? And he's just like, no. Apparently, people don't like it when they can't, or when they can't keep up with me. He might actually. I I probably should be a good friend and ask him, but he hasn't gotten that check yet, so maybe. But yeah, no, actually, it's not prostate, it's diabetes. Yes, he does have diabetes. So, might get in trouble for sharing medical information. And from what I understand, one of the side issues with diabetes is greater, oh, fuck bears. Is greater, drinking and pissing, and he drinks a lot. And I'm talking about, regular water imbibing. It's mostly under control now, but oddly enough, his drinking and peeing has not gone down. I got milk, then I got diabetes. Well, every once in a while there is just certain topics you don't talk about. But yeah, no, I've ultimately been chalking it up to diabetes issues. Which he's been working on and not doing so well. He still likes his dried fruits, so he's not doing well cutting down sugars. Not to mention all the alcohol we drink, but we're not going to bring that up. No, and that's one of those things is we've actually had conversations like that where it's like, hey man, just good friend notice. You do realize you have to be up at like 4 hours. Oh no, I'm still good to keep going. Okay, I brought it up, but you know you're an adult. You make your own damn decisions. Of course, I guess for us, that's actually one of the greatest respects we give is, you know what? Sentience is a thing. So, hey, you're a sentient being. Make your own decisions. If I think you're too stupid, then ultimately I'm going to just be disrespectful. But at that point, I probably wouldn't be good friends with them, so. Now I need to wait for him to get back so I can ask him a question. I haven't had. No, that's a lie. I had him. Sorry, hold on a second. Hey, Sonics, look at the screen real quick. Which do you want? I mean, I think this one because of circuit boards. This one, but only because we want it silica now, so I'm assuming this. But it takes less quartz now, and no, it takes the same amount of quartz, but we get more. So this, yeah, I was gonna say that I figured, but I figured I'd ask. Confirmed or not confirmed, positive consent, I believe that's the term I was looking for. New hard drive. Yeah, McDonald's is all right, but to be fair, any burgers me and Xanax doesn't make is usually fairly garbage. The best thing I get is like it actually comes with bacon or something like that. Of course, the favorite place we like to go to burger-wise, we'll do bacon, and they'll actually give you like a nice hunk of onion too, and we both like onion, so yeah, no, that we don't care for most burger joints. I mean, oh, what's the word? We patronize them, but you know, by and large, you're choosing between different levels of garbage.
Yep. But yeah, just to confirm what Buddha was saying, I do have diabetes. I don't take insulin for it, but drinking exacerbates how much I have to pee.
Well, technically that's fair for everyone, but diabetes makes a bad issue worse.
I mean, the flesh of the innocent. Like, you know, sometimes you just find a 12-year-old girl and it's like, like sorry, that it's a good thing it's late at night.
Actually, that's a bit of a lie. What was it? There was some Asmongold. That's who it was. He had some guy say something racially offensive, I believe, on his stream, and he ended up getting suspended for like a fucking week or something like that. It's like, I didn't say it.
Yeah, but
But we're
you're
small enough
responsible for
that
what
we're
you're
not gonna
chatting.
matter.
Yeah, no one's gonna give a shit about us.
Security through obscurity, my friend. Security through obscurity. The only reason why we have to, well, I'm watching what I'm saying is A, even though he says otherwise, this is Xanax stream, and B, he uploads this shit to YouTube, in which case there's going to be an eternal record.
I mean, it's not like you're running for political office.
Nope. And I've done enough fucked up things in my life that I wouldn't want to. It would be embarrassing, some of the conversations that could pop up.
Oh, you're already scanning hard drive? Okay. Drop
And no, I won't explain some of the embarrassing things. If you were gonna ask, but...
Ask!
The answer is gonna be... no. Hey, Sonics, guess what?
Hmm.
When I get back, you're about to get some legs.
Oh, I got some quartz too.
Oh, then fine. I got quartz, pound sand.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. I appreciate you thinking of me, though.
Now I think about it, if you have quartz, I probably shouldn't have been heading back to the hub. I should have just kept looking for oil.
Oh, yes, Blade Runners. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was an Offspring song. Freaky for a white guy or whatever.
I mean, pretty fly for a white guy, you mean?
Yeah, that one. Damn it. Fail. Personal fail.
Yeah?
What else can I say? It was a personal fail. You know, actually, one random. I had a stint when I was, I don't know, 18 or something like that. I was hardcore into Offspring, so I listened to all their music. And then there was this Offspring song, I forget which, that came on the radio. And this chick was like, "Oh my God, that's one of their new songs." I'm like, No, it's not. It's nowhere close to one of their new songs." "Oh, yes, it is." No, no, it's not. You know, I think Metallica and Offspring are the two bands that I've truly gotten into. Everyone else has been like, okay, you know, I enjoy, but I've never gotten into any band group, blah blah blah, more than Offspring and Metallica.
Oh, God, I love these Blade Runners.
Oh, I actually had a random thought earlier today, Xanax.
Yeah, what's up?
Why the fuck is Ozzy Osbourne famous?
'Cause he ate a bat.
Huh? Like I remember once I was watching and this was years ago, but it just came back to mind like 8 hours ago. I saw a recording of Ozzy Osbourne doing a concert, and he was walking around like an old man, and this was like in the 90s or something like that, just like doing a song. And I'm like, he's a fat guy, and his vocals aren't that good. So why do people care about Ozzy Osbourne?
That's a texture issue. I mean, to be fair, Ozzy's done a lot of drugs. Like, a lot of drugs.
It could be true, but I still don't understand why people fucking care for Ozzy Osbourne. Like, part of me is like, is this kind of the same thing with Tolkien? Like, maybe he started something, so while I don't like what he did, I just have to respect what he did, or am I missing something?
I mean, I like old school Oz.
See, and honestly, I don't care for his vocals, but they have some really good guitarist shit going on, but Ozzy's not the guitarist, so I don't give a fuck about that either.
Yeah, no, it's mostly just the songs, I think.
No, the one that still blew my mind is like the first time I listened to Black Sabbath, and I realized a lot of the songs I really like are just, a sense, covers of Black Sabbath. That was one mean hog.
Mercer.
Yeah, that's a McDonald's burger for you.
Oh yeah. 100% gray.
Guaranteed no flavor.
I mean, they put ketchup on it.
So guaranteed sugar. So I am close to one of the oil nodes.
Oh, I'm fucking close as well.
Oh, you're going for the other one. Well, this one's ground level. Looks like it might be good, so...
Well, I'm also trying to get to a wreck.
So I got 4 over here, but I'm gonna have to kill something if you want to take advantage of this. Impure, normal. And I can't see the other 2 currently.
Yeah, looks like I need to work my way up a cliff if I want to get to these oils.
So you're gonna want to use mine then.
Well, I want to
So
go up
it's
there
two
for
n-
the
So the
hard
one I
drive.
have is 2 normals and an impure. And one of the oils for you is temp.
Temp?
Temp, like something you mine.
You don't mine oil.
Well, apparently there might be some nodes that you can.
Yeah. I think qualifying McDonald's as poison is not unreasonable.
It's actually highly reasonable. But freedom of choice. Yeah, no, it's one
Crash
of
site
those
over
things
here.
that people who
It
only
is over here.
temporarily talk about free speech. Free speech is for the speech you don't like, not for the one that you do like.
Yeah. Yeah. Free speech is to protect yeah, the speech you don't like.
Now I remember one time at work I was doing uh, a chat. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty damn close to an Capistani. And the amount of people were like, you're what? I don't have to pretend to be or claim to be morally superior. I'm just me.
No, some people are
What?
just anarchists like that, you know?
Well, it's the thing that I run into is like, I don't even understand really the feeling of being something like morally superior, or yeah, feeling morally superior. It's just like, you know what? In some areas I'm smart, some areas I'm informed, a lot of areas I just know a few things. And guess what? even in the areas that I'm quite confident that I'm right, I've been proven wrong by very stupid people. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's
But then
not.
again, I'm one of those people who, if I can be shown to be wrong, I'm just like, oh, damn, I was wrong. I'll never understand people. Which
People
is
don't
part of the
like being
reason.
proven wrong.
Which is part of the reason why I think I might be mildly autistic or something that like that instead of sociopathic. Is usually sociopaths and whatnot at least understand people. I'm like, they're offended for some reason, and I don't know why. Shouldn't have said that. Why not? Was it not accurate? No, it's just offensive. What does that even mean? I said 2 + 2 = 4.
Clearly offensive.
Not gonna lie, they might need to get rid of the auto heal. It makes the game too easy.
Well, I think the whole point was combat. Like, the game's not supposed to be combat focused. Like, I think that's the reason why they did the auto heal was because, wow.
Combat shouldn't be that much of the game. Well, it just makes things like those auto heal injectors and shit like that, they're completely pointless now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should get. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, but I think they should get rid of auto heal. That was a stupid jump. Ouchie. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, anyways. No, I think if I were to make a change, I would make it to where the health bar would regenerate to maybe have health. Like, okay, we're not gonna completely screw you, but at the same time, if you mess up that bad, you need to do something instead of
Yeah.
just waiting. I mean,
Oh,
don't go to
wow.
the
Okay.
nearest. Huh.
So, the oil on my end may be completely unreasonable.
And I'll go take a gander at mine again, but it's pretty much round level.
Well, yeah, no, I went up a cliff and then now I need to go down another cliff. Like, this is not uh, a friendly area to be in.
Yeah, so we're gonna want to use the oil I'm at then. There's 4. Like I said, I think it's 2 normal and 2 impure, so it's not the best, but normal, normal, and pure, and I'm standing on an impure. But yeah, no, it's pretty flat. There are some minor slopes up, but by and large, it's a flat transport, and there are some open areas. So yeah, I think you should go to the one I checked out. It's not
Yeah.
completely cleared, but or I guess I am assuming we're taking this. I should probably clear it. No, actually, that's one of those. I remember it was a random thing. Sorry, bot. That I heard a while back, and it's like, science should kind of be embarrassed just because what is a proper diet? And the problem is there is no real answer. So part of me is arguing some, well, I'm gonna, I guess the best way to put it is biological determinism, I guess, to a certain extent, where it's like, you know what? The Japanese and Chinese are great with rice. Um, I'm out of ammo. The Mediterraneans are good with olive oil and wine. Like, but outside of that, I don't know, even if you could look into it genetically, how far you can go with, oh, this is the proper diet. This is the healthy diet. Actually, there was one guy, he was a statistician. It still makes me laugh. Um, he apparently did some research on, well, exactly what I said, the Mediterranean diet, or from Greece or Italy, I forget which, and Japan, I believe. And those are the two countries that have like some of the oldest living people. And his final findings were, I guess it's just unhealthy to be American.
That seems like a reasonable conclusion. Yep. Found my ramp.
Actually, a little surprised I haven't found any bacon or flour bacon or whatever the fuck it's called.
I actually found some bacon, but my inventory is full, so I couldn't pick it up.
Oh, come on, throw some away and get the bacon. We could actually use that.
Okay. I'll grab some bacon.
Yeah, they totally need to get rid of the full health regeneration. I'm enjoying it, but it removes attention from the game that should not be removed.
Alright. We need Hatcher remains still, or?
Hatcher? I don't. Well, actually, maybe. Because there's one organic bit that we're missing. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It has to be Hatcher because we have Spitter and we have Hog. So if you have Hatcher, yeah, please pick that up.
Well, I have it in my inventory. Alright.
Oh, well, go fuck yourself.
Well, fine then. I'll leave it alone.
Uh, Off mic and come to where I'm at.
I'll just bring your review up.
I mean, I'm thinking polymer resin because the other two are ultimately garbage as far as I can tell.
What the fuck am I even looking at here?
So you got alternate
So,
resin, 6 crude oil will lead to 13 polymer and 2 heavy. You got refined plate, but that's 3 plates and rubber, and it leads to 1. And then you got rotor using steel and copper. I think resin is going to be the one we want.
yeah, I think resin is the preferred one. Do we should have another hard drive there to
No, this is the. Did you get a third one?
there should be one in the box. Okay, I'll come home. I have another one.
I was gonna say I think I used the other one in the box, but I'll check real quick. Obviously.
Yeah, because I've gotten a few hard
Oh,
drives. I
you're
thought you
right.
got.
There was one. I've grabbed 2. Apparently you've grabbed 2 also. No, well, now 3 if you have 1.
Yeah, I have 1 in my inventory right now. So
Another 10 minutes.
But since I have another 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and scout out the oil you found. Since I need to have an idea what I'm working with, and I can put down the refineries. Alright, and we got oil over here. That's a big spitter. Plasma spitter remains. Well, I think I want that.
Yeah, it should be higher level.
Alright, where is my oil, baby? Drill, baby, drill. Come on. Wow, there are 5 oils around here?
I thought it was just 4, but if there's 5, then sweet.
No, you're right, it's just 4. Pure, normal, normal.
Sure, I thought there were normals, or 2 normals impure.
One impure, 2 normals.
There should be 2 impures, 2 normals.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at the 4th one yet. Okay, you're right.
There we go. Yeah, 2 impures, 2 normals.
Well, time to clear some shit out of my inventory here. So, binary. Oh, oh. Balls.
What'd you do?
I used my motors and I didn't refill them.
Lame.
Alright, let's see if I have enough cable to run a power line home.
Oh, cable is easy aspect.
It's just a long goddamn run home.
And I don't think we can make motors until...
No, we can. I'm making motors right now.
Oh, you need stators, that's why.
Rebar gun to the face.
Oh, that's what I wanted that for.
Yeah. The critters are much easier to deal with in this version of the game, too.
Yeah, they're easier to deal with and they're more plentiful. The MAM's working on a hard drive.
Pick one or two. I'm gonna say two.
You said you got stringers, right?
I have. Oh, I got a monster. Hang on.
That's all good. I think I just need one. I'll take another look at it. Yeah, as long as you have one stringer, that's what we need, even though it's actually kind of pointless, but finish it off. Bars plastic. Bullet guidance system. Well, fuck, that's new. Power switch. You said you have bacon. We apparently need 3 of them.
I do not have 3 bacon. I found a bacon.
Okay. We should hold on to that then.
So, what's your theory, bot? Come on, don't be like a Twitter girl and be vague and... I've made my decision, I'm not gonna do it again. 100% of the time, when people present with a question, they pick 2.
I was thinking too. I don't think it's 100% of the time, but that'd probably be a 95. No,
Yeah,
I
probably.
actually... There's a anime I thoroughly enjoy called Hunter x Hunter. And they have to do a psychological puzzle. And one of the things in the psychological puzzle is which way do you go, left or right? And 3 people choose right, 2 people choose left, I believe. And it's like or when most people are lost, they choose to go left instead of right, and psychologically they would probably know that, so left would probably be horrible.
Alright. I was able to run a power line home.
almost done. Left too early. But thankfully I got
I'm here.
blade legs. Oh, you're there?
So automated speed wiring, yeah, get fucked. Alternate coke steel, 15 iron ore, 15 petroleum coke for steel, or alternate steel frame, which is 2 plate, 10 steel pipe for
Yeah, I'm
modular
looking at
frame.
it. I mean, I'm kind of looking at the iron just because if I remember right, petroleum coke is fairly useless in this. So, I don't know. I'm torn. Steel frame or alternate steel frame or alternate steel ingot. Um, we might want to do frame just because I think that's going to be the one we're going to be suffering the absolute most where or iron ingot. Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna. I'm actually thinking ingot if for no other reason. 10 steel pipes. Seems like that's going to be an expensive investment with little return.
Well, I mean, what's the recipe for a regular modular frame?
You're the one who made it.
So it's 3 reinforced iron plate and 12 iron rod.
So it'd be less pipe and less reinforced armor because it's 2 and 10 instead of 3 and 4 or 3 and 12.
Yeah, but steel pipe takes more effort than iron rod. Like that would require
Aren't they
uh
equal?
no, iron rod is just
One iron ingot or a steel
yeah,
ingot?
iron ingot.
Why do we care about iron ingots when we're working towards? Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. I think your alternate um well, cuz petroleum coke, yeah, cuz
Well, petroleum coke. No, that's a byproduct of heavy oil or light oil.
yeah, and we're going to be making oil
Yeah,
soon.
well, if I remember right, petroleum coke is mostly useless. So that's where I'm leaning towards the steel ingot. But I'm
Yeah.
not 100. Oh, okay, so if you
I
want.
agree. Steel ingot is the choice here.
Okay, so choose it.
The steel modular frame is I don't think that's a good recipe. And obviously we couldn't give a fuck about automated wire.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, but we can be patient on that front.
Well, I mean, I don't think we need any more of it. There was ma'am only type shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start up on our
Well,
last
but
hard drive.
I'm one of those people. I probably will start asking random. Choose between 1 and 2. See what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating enough. Simple enough. The big question, though, is you go for the spontaneous, quick, 1 or 2? Or do you go, hey, if you had a choice between 1 or 2, what would you choose? And I think part of the reason why people would choose 2 on that particular front is they think it's kind of like saying, do you want less or more? So that might lead to the whole why people would choose 2 over 1. But I don't know. I'm ad hocing.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea. Drop off my slugs. Animal bits over here? No, we don't have animal
Animal
bits
bid should
anywhere.
be in the hab. But if you're looking for the splitters or whatever they were called,
Yeah.
We don't have any of those, so you're just gonna have to throw it into the hab.
All right.
Yeah, we got 26 coupons.
Fuck the call. Okay, I did have some Caterium. All right, never mind.
You know, that's another one of those issues. I can riff off of chat easily enough, but I don't know how well chat can build off of me. Like, I still think back to one of the questions is like, what is it about famous people? Like, no, not even famous people. People are famous. Fine, whatever. Why do
Famous
people
people
care?
exist.
Why do they care? Or why does anyone care? Like, I remember one time I had a sergeant who married a German chick, and they pretty much treat royalty as if they're celebrities, and it's just why? Why? But it's equal because there's plenty of people who just don't give a fuck, and then there's another group of people who are like, oh yeah, this is super important.
Well, I mean, royalty is meaningless, honestly.
It's not precisely meaningless, but it's damn near close. Because they are
Correction.
still like,
Royalty should be meaningless.
oh, it should. I don't agree with that either.
Why? Why should royalty even be a thing?
Well, it comes down to certain governmental controls. It's not exactly saying that royals are a good uh leader or a good ideology or whatever or government, but if they actually have power and influence, that's one thing. If they're just, hey, you know, my ancestors used to rule shit, and so we're kind of uh we're now like faux diplomats. Okay, then yeah, they are completely meaningless. Sorry, I was thinking more the breadth of the application more than, yeah, royalty is kind of or is just a dumb government. But to be fair,
Well,
one
I'm just talking
good
about, I
ruler
mean,
could
I'm
do a
not talking about
lot.
monarchy specifically, just like modern day royalty, like the
Okay,
British
yeah,
royal
then
family. It's like,
yeah, then they're completely pointless. That is like quite literally the how do I even put that? Yeah, literally they're holding on to some level of tradition, and to a certain extent it's like having pandas in a well, yeah, no, having pandas in a zoo. It's they're well taken care of, but by and large you're keeping them around because what else would you do with them?
I mean, I'm a fan of defenestration, honestly.
But yeah, no, royalty as it is now in most areas, mostly pointless.
Freeze up a little bit of room there. Ugh, I want 10 more goddamn motors. Of course, to be fair, I guess I don't need them, but yeah, no, I don't need to. I really don't need to turn in those 100 motors now, so I'm just being dumb. Okay.
I was gonna say you might as well use them. Especially since if we have automated stators, we can easily foe this. Gotta wait. I have explosives, so I need the detonator, steel pipe, and gunpowder, and novelist. Oh, that's right, beacon. Or no, object scanner. Oh, object scanners no longer require beacon.
Oil extractor. Binary. Oh, I'm gonna need a bunch of motors. Okay. So 4 of those is gonna be 60. Oh, I guess I've just taken all the goddamn motors then. Need definitely a bunch of pipe. East beam, need plenty of that. Grab another 100 encased beam. Have a bunch of copper sheet. I gotta.
You know, this is going back a chunk of conversations, but I remember I was talking to some people about the initial or the first Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And one of the things I brought up was I didn't care for the fact that they increased the role of what's her name? Erwin or whatever, the female elf.
The useless one.
Yeah. And the ultimate response I heard was, but she was hot, man. I don't give a
And
fuck if she's hot. That's irrelevant.
there's a meaningless factor as to the importance of her character and her meaningfulness to the story.
Okay, going back to the ma'am. Is Liv Tyler hot? Sure. Does that take away from the fact that she was given
She's
too big of a
useless.
part? No. You put in your last motor for research, right?
For research?
Not motor, hard drive.
Yeah. The last hard drive is in. I believe that's our last hard drive.
I don't think we want that. I don't. Okay, all three of these look useless. So we can get more Cantarium, or we can get Cantarium ingot with just shift to my screen. Let me know when you've read it.
I'm here. I'm at the hab, dude.
Okay. They all look garbage to me. I think the rotors might be the most interesting one. Cantarium would be too. We never used a fuel can, so If that's useful, you'd have to tell me.
That's for jetpacks.
Oh, are those for jetpacks?
Yeah, that's for jetpacks.
And then that probably wins.
Yeah, I think that one wins.
Okay, do the research.
Lolly? We're not lollies. You're a lolly.
Where the hell did that come from, bot? Need copper sheet, can do that. I mean, if that's your taste, you do you. If you do a crime, I'm gonna want you to be prosecuted. Yeah.
I don't remember either of us mentioning lollies.
Well, there was that one stream where we're not a lolicon, you are. I forget exactly which one that was, though.
That was our first Monster Hunter stream when we were little brother and little sister.
Yeah, if you watch the stream and see the names, it's Romanian for little brother, little sister. It has a reason, but whatever.
Yeah, no, the joke had context.
Context, references, but you had to be informed. Well, not informed, but you had to understand our humor or our perspective. You ever have one of those senses of humor that gets you in trouble? Yes, yes, I have.
That is basically all I have. I have one of those senses of humor that my boss kicks me when he knows I'm about to say something inappropriate.
I was gonna say, I have the sense of humor that gets people fired. Have you ever laughed at X joke, which is supposed to be offensive? Yes, I've even made some. Doesn't matter what X is. Oh my goodness, you're a horrible why am I horrible?
Oh,
Because I admit
sorry.
to laughing?
Yeah. To answer your question, Bot, a lolly in Japanese culture is basically a young girl. Lolicon, yeah, lolicons are older men who like younger girls. So, yeah.
Type it into Google. It'll explain it.
But don't do it when you're at work. That might get you in trouble.
This is... That's an NSW shit.
Yeah, that's a search for the safety of your home.
With a VPN, depending, but yeah.
$120 oil a minute.
I guess that's another thing me and Sonics fit into. Knowledge is neither good or bad, it just is. So,
Yeah.
know a bunch of stuff that isn't good.
It's not bad, too, technically. But isn't good.
'Fuck berries.
We are a wealth of inappropriate knowledge.
And random. Get the random from my dad. I've told this story too many times, but at the same time, it's the one that I just know too well. Is when I was in college, I was taking an economics class, and I was talking to my dad, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I was reading about this one guy. He's like, hey man, you shouldn't let yourself be crucified on a cross of gold." He's arguing to move away from the gold standard. And I was like, yeah, but I forget what his name was. And my dad out of nowhere was like, oh, that was William Jennings Bryan. Fucking who in the what? Like, there was no preamble to that. It was just, I brought it up. He had the answer. I mean, I could do that from time to time, but having that level, like, mic drop where it's like, there it is.
I mean,
I don't
clearly
know
you're
when
talking
I'm gonna...
about William Jennings Bryan here, like.
Like, obviously. 2 + 2 = William Jennings Bryan. Huh? Yeah, that blew my fucking mind. So as a note for our sulfur research, we need to have 2 hard drives that we use for compact coal and for turbo fuel. Those both require hard drives, but they cannot be put in the hard drive slot.
Sorry, say that again.
There are 2 research in the MAM under the sulfur tree that requires hard drives. So we need 2 hard drives that we don't put into the hard drive slot to be able to get compacted coal, whatever that means, and turbo fuel. And it has turbo fuel and packaged turbo fuel, which kind of assuming means better jetpack, but I have no fucking clue.
Gotcha. So once we need to sacrifice 2 hard drives to the...
Yeah, we need to have 2 hard drives that we don't use in the hard drive slot.
I'm not a big fan of that, but...
I mean, it's an interesting mechanic, you know. Do you risk it for a research value, or do you just go for what you can see definitively?
Yeah, and a lot of these hard drives aren't giving us really good recipes, but I know there are some fucking amazeball recipes out there.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's enough hard drives for that.
This is a...
Hmm.
Nothing, I'm just sorry, I just put down a refinery and I'm trying to decide okay, so petroleum coke takes heavy oil residue.
Yeah, all I can say is if I remember right, we need some, but we don't need a lot.
The oil residue. Polymer resin, water. Fuel. Crude oil outputs. resin, and fuel. Hmm. Ugh. Damn it, these refineries take a shit ton of shit. So I know we need plastics, I know we need rubbers. So the residual plastic takes polymer resin and water. Do I even have water around here?
You're gonna have to go north, I'm assuming. I mean, it's possible there's water to the south, but you're probably gonna have to go north.
I'm not seeing. God damn it.
I'm not seeing damn it either.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any water in this little basin I'm in. I have passed some water on the way in. Full auto Desert Eagles. That is completely uncontrollable.
I
Wow.
mean, that sounds like that would break wrists.
Yeah, like seriously.
But yeah, is there like a collapsible stock or something like that? Because having your wrist handle a full auto 45 Desert Eagle, I don't know how long you can do that, even close to accurate.
Yeah, they're not shooting that accurately. That can't be accurate. One hand, that's like shooting an Uzi one-handed.
That's like taking a shotgun and shooting it one-handed.
No, that's pretty wild. I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be fun to shoot until, you know, I gave myself carpal tunnel.
Yeah. No, actually, the one that comes to mind is the people who know nothing about guns and then they shoot something like a Desert Eagle. Usually, the ones I've seen are women. In which case, they pull the trigger and then they get hit in the fucking face.
Yeah. Byproduct of plastic and rubber production can be further refined into fuel and petroleum coke. Yeah, so residual plastics.
I would not be surprised about that, but I mean, I've never shot a 45, but I've shot other things. I mean, I have shot a 50 cal because I'm awesome like that, but yeah, no, that has some strong recoil. Actually, I did watch one guy dual wielding 50 caliber sniper rifles and just shooting. He's probably not gonna have functioning wrists in 5 years.
The oil residue. Polymer resin, heavy oil residue. And not having water here is really kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and NC is. Oh, okay. So a bit of, you know, fairness, I guess, is the best way word I'm looking for. So I brought up that story about how in New Zealand they arrested people for black market KFCing.
Yeah.
It still makes me laugh. But in New York, they started not arresting. They started confiscating toy guns that literally, like, they don't even look anything like a real gun, but they shoot out like little paintball type things. And the police have started confiscating those things. It's just like, what's your job again? I didn't know you were the professional confiscate toy guns group. But it's New York and it's run by exactly who they deserve.
Um. I am. Okay, so I do
You
have
are.
some water nearby.
Yeah, so does the UK, and guess what? They still roast people. Hell, there was one guy whose house got raided. They took a spoon that they thought was a little too sharp. No
I mean,
offense, but
if
fuck
you
New
watch
Zealand
The
too.
Tick, you are wary of spoons.
Spoon?
The Tick.
Oh, yeah.
Bird!
No. I want the freedom to tell everybody go F themselves. Whether I'm accurate or just the asshole or both is irrelevant. I want that. And guess what? I like guns. I don't want any. Oh, it's only 22. If I want to have a fucking 50, y'all can go pound sand. I won't want a 50. That's way too inaccurate. I don't even know if I would want a 45 personally. I mean, it's effective, but that's a lot of power. I think I would try to. Or I'm on the more on the end of emphasizing high levels of accuracy more than just hit them. Then things end.
Yeah, that's. If I can quote Jim Jeffries here, fuck off. I like guns.
Mm-hmm. Actually, because I've watched things about gun arguments, and one of the things about gun arguments is they're like, oh, look at Australia, they got rid of guns after a one mass shooting. Yeah, and guess what? Gun crimes have gone up. Oh, but we're not supposed to talk about that. Guess what? Bad people break the law. Nuh-uh.
So, there is a geothermal plant up here.
Oh, that's good to know, but we can't make that for a while.
No, we can't. It's just. It's here. It's,
Thermal.
Yep. I got some bacon, too.
Are we up to 3 now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
It does appear, though, that I am not going to be able to use this water source for water extractors.
Yeah.
There is a spot where I can get a water extractor down.
You're gonna want to put up. There might be two if you set it up properly.
There might be.
You're gonna probably want to set up water buffers. Oh, I'm coming towards you. Do you want any materials?
No, I am fucking full on mats right now.
Which is why I was asking if you would want more. I mean, I don't have any opinions about possums. Shouldn't get themselves run over it, obviously, but you know, possums would be possums.
I don't know, sometimes you just need to kill a possum. Okay. I guess there's a few spots here where... Yeah, no, I think I can get some water pumps going in here. You
And
want
another
more?
pure iron ore. With what? Or with
Possums.
whom?
Possums. He said that.
I wasn't sure if that was a non sequitur or if that was directly connected.
But yeah, no, there's actually a decent amount of bacon over here.
You're going to do Reddit 50/50.
I don't know what that is.
I was gonna say, is that like saying you're gonna watch Twitch half the time and Reddit half the time?
Oh,
You're gonna agree
yeah.
with them half the time and disagree with them half the time?
Yeah, that's... I think he's gonna go to Reddit, so he's not necessarily 100% watching us. Did he get a cute kitten or a guy cutting his face off? Yeah, that sounds like Reddit.
Figure that'd be more fortune than Reddit.
So max flow is 300. So we can do 120 water per pump. So a third pump would max out my pipes. Though...
Oh,
Mm,
apparently wells are now a thing too. I just found a hole in the ground that kind of looks like a ore deposit, and it says water normal.
oh,
I mean, I'm on the way to you, but
yeah, no, you're nowhere near where I
oh,
need the water.
that's another water. And this is probably pure water since I'm actually... Yeah, no, I just found 3 wells in the area I'm at.
And it's just
Yeah, it looks like you need a drill or a pump, and then bam, water. And it's at a higher elevation, so you can, you know, have the pipes going down.
that whale probably deserved it.
Well, to be fair, you poke big dead things, they generally explode.
Yeah, that is a typical trait. Alright, so anyways, our line.
So you went from I can't fit any to 3.
um, yes. It didn't look like it could fit any. Then I. Uh, that's what she said, but. But yeah, I did go from I couldn't fit any to 3. And it's 100% what I did. Um, but yeah, no. It looks like I was able to get 3 going.
Oh, fucking wow.
Mm,
You got an oil, or not oil, you got a coal thing like directly south. There's 3 pure coal and 1 normal.
all right. So I got water. I got coal. Got oil. I guess I really just need some iron. Then I'll have, I think, fucking everything I could want here. Okay. Well, gerbil bladder strikes again, so you're primary. Be right back.
Of course it does. Yes, quartz. More quartz. Okay, so either I'm in the zone or they made the enemies way too easy. And those are all poison things.
Wow, looks like you made a friend, Buddha.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can kill one.
I think you blow those up.
Oh, those are things I blow up?
Well, yeah, I don't think you can kill it like traditionally.
Yeah, I thought I just had to shoot it.
Uh, and the 300 rate limit on the pipe is just kind of. It's just an odd number. So if I guess, let's do a. Alright, maybe. Uh, let's do. Splitter. This might actually be a really dumb idea, but I'm hoping this will normalize water pressure.
Wow, why the hell is this being guarded?
Mm.
Yeah, no, there was an area of a chunk of poison spitters and there was nothing there. So just why?
I mean, reasons, obviously. Alright.
Oh, wow. I got wrecked.
Okay. Whoa. Um, I was gonna come save you.
Oh, I figured you were too far away.
I don't think so. I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
closer to your body than you are.
I was gonna say there's no time. Well, if you still want to go to my crate and kill the thing that killed me, I'd appreciate.
Yeah, well, I'll be the hero you need.
Not the one I deserve, at least.
No, it's definitely not the one you deserve.
Being the guest, that means I should have eaten some barrel nuts or whatever.
Really? A charger?
A high level charger killed me in like 2 hits. But then I might have lost some hit points from reckless jumping.
Well, your corpse is safe now. Hmm.
Whee!
Just had a fit right there.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, running straight to my chest led to 3 pigs. But I saw them before I contacted them, so.
Alright. Bring my water across the bridge here. Alright, now I have water. So, I have more options available to me. What was a recipe that uses Coke?
I don't remember. It was. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm sure it was an assembler recipe. I'll pull it up real quick and alternate electrode gives us circuit boards. Takes rubber and coke.
I don't think that's what we got.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's the only recipe in the assembler that takes coke, and it's rubber and coke for circuit boards.
Well, I think we actually did one that was like Coke and something for. Doesn't matter. We'll find out soon enough.
So 6 rubber, 9 coke. So I do have a use for coke here. So I don't have a good use for fuel. I mean, eventually I figure we will, but I don't want to make any fuel right now. So this is crude. It makes polymer resin and heavy. So residual rubber is resin and water. Regular rubber is crude oil. Heavy oil residue makes coke. Resin, polymer resin, and water. Fuel makes resin, and we have a use for resin once we're making fuel. But we don't have a compelling reason to actually heavy oil residue to fuel. I guess going out of my way to make polymer resin is kind of meaningless. Right now, at least.
Yeah. Nope. It sure does.
Diluted fuel package. So you're 30 crude. Crude. Alright, so what do I do with the residual?
Well, we have fluid buffers.
Well, yeah, but so I need to make coke. Like, the only thing I can do with the heavy oil residue is make coke. Right now. Like, that's it.
Well, and I mean, store up and burn some, but yeah, until we actually get to using heavy, we're just gonna be fucking ourselves.
20. $120, so alright, that's okay. That's 240 there. Alright. Enough fucking about. Time to seriously, I'm short on cable? Fuck you, game.
Bound to happen.
I mean, I know I definitely need more cable, but it's like, god damn it. Watch as I manually turn copper wire into cabling. This is what the young kids call content right here. They don't actually call this content. At least, God, I fucking hope not.
They might.
I mean, yeah. You don't make content. Content makes you.
Mm-hmm.
Action refinery. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not lined up at all.
The Xanax OCD kicking in.
Well, I mean, balls.
I agree, well, balls.
Well, if anything's gonna put our power plant to the test, it's this shit right fucking here. By go. Plastic. Plastic. 30 and 30. I go. Rubber. Rubber. That's 30 and 30. That's 120 crude. That's half of the crude I'm producing.
So I'm hitting the point of passive.
Oh, no, no. The fuck? Oh, you saying you want to call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're still working on something right now, then hold off. But yeah, I'm pretty. Call it territory.
Alright, give me a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
I want to get, I would like to finish off tonight with, oil working. I've been dicking off and, you know, I went after water. I really didn't need water for what we needed, and, yeah,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
so. Um, if I can even pipe that shit up that high. This might be a stupid idea. Okay. Fuck berries.
Hmm.
I'm out of iron plate, so I guess now's as good a time as any to call it.
Yeah.
Since I gotta go home for more iron plate. And you know what? Maybe sober Zionics will come back and look at this and go, "You're being dumb," which is
Mm-hmm.
100% possible. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's go ahead and call it there if you're ready to call it. Um,
Ready?
all right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the hell out of all of you, and yeah, we hope to see you in the next one. And come back, join us, chat, have fun conversations, mock us for our stupidity, all that funness.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words, Buddha?
No, I think you cover everything, Zax.
All right, and we'll see you in the next one. Good night.